Namaste. We'll read from Sutra number 6. Fear is an absolute necessity. It keeps us alive. But you have to distinguish between fear based on reality and fear based on imagination. Fear is an absolute necessity. It keeps us alive. This is what Grandmaster has written. The question is, how do you evaluate this statement? Why should one have fear? And then he explains, but you have to distinguish between fear based on reality and fear based on imagination. If you look at it very carefully, in this sutra, it does not guide you into what you should do or should not do. It just wants you to think first. In fact, all sutras are meant to be like that. It makes you think, it makes you restructure your mind and come out with own conclusions. It doesn't tell you you have to do this. That's the nature of our spiritual teacher. So he says, fear is an absolute necessity, which means if you have a situation that, the wars are happening right now and companies are going bankrupt, so they're removing people from the organization. So if you don't have fear, what will happen if you don't have a job right now? You will be careless on your spendings. You will be investing heavily on something else instead of saving the money and wisely preserving it for emergency funds, allocating funds properly. You may overspend even now. That can be disaster. But if you see realistically, many people have lost job and the situation of the war is escalating. So there are chances that this can happen to any one of our friends and maybe to you also. This is realistic fear. Because when you have realistic fear, your mind tends to act upon it. It tries to find a solution. What if this worst thing happens? What should I do? Instead of panicking, it tries to organize your mind in such a way that it will find a solution to a problem that has not yet occurred, but in case if it happens, you're not in a shock. You know how to handle it. So, this is realistic fear. What is unrealistic fear? You're the best person in your company. There's nothing wrong with you. Your productivity is fantastic. You're doing a great job. And there's no crisis situation. Everybody is happy. Market is expanding, booming. And suddenly you think, what if I don't wake up in the morning tomorrow? What will happen to my family? Who will take care of them if I die tomorrow? Oh, this is a crazy, unrealistic fear. This has got nothing to do with reality, right? In this case, you don't have to panic. But even if you want to take this as realistic fear, you will not get worried. You will just say, okay, in case worst thing happens, how will I save and keep it safe for my family? Your savings, for how many years are you planning? So in other words, you will take realistic action upon any kind of fear. But creating unrealistic fear would not help any one of us. In case if we have unrealistic fear also, and if you have a solution of how to handle the worst thing, if it happens, you're still okay, right? In other words, this is keeping us alive. Now, if you have unrealistic fear and you panic, that is the worst thing to do. Probably from this sutra, the teacher is saying, if it is all imaginary, then you put it in the dustbin. It is not useful to you. You destroy it. In fact, go for what is reality and focus on living your life based on realistic fear. Unrealistic fear, if you still think it is imaginary only, forget about it. Once you have this fear, it has to be destroyed, not to get worried about that. This will be a good day for you. Because when you start analyzing every life situation based on the sutra, this day would be very meaningful, very special for you. Wish you a great day. Atma Namaste.